beautiful Saturday afternoon in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., as we welcome you to Big East basketball. It's the Marquette Golden Eagles playing some great ball at number 9 in the country, taking on the Georgetown Hoyas. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dave Sims along with Tariq Turner. We are glad to be with you. Got a good one here for you today. Marquette is on a roll, but the month of January didn't start out that way.
Well, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, Dave. You know that from being around the block. And this is a team that is built for winning. They came off a great year last year, and they're now rounding into shape as we go into the month of February, the most important month. And certainly they started out slow, but they've won their last 5 straight. They've got a veteran team with an experienced point guard, one of the best point guards in the country, Tyler Kolek, leading the way.
That young man is the reigning Player of the Year in the Big East. Time now for our starting lineups. Player to watch, Kolek, we mentioned him, and also when you look at the Georgetown club, Jaden Epps, he does all their scoring. He's a pretty dynamic player. Right now, though, shooting at a low percentage. He'll be a focus for Marquette. Time now for our player to watch, sponsored by Hilton. Hilton for the stay.
Well, he just controls the tempo on both sides of the court, and just a maestro. He really gets them going in their offense. Dynamic playmaker, sees the floor, makes everyone better. And also, Dave, he can score a little bit coming off his career high, 32 points.
Pat Driscoll, Matt Potter, Mike Palo are the officials for our game today. Good crowd here in D.C.
Pace so important, as we know, and certainly with Marquette, they're going to switch 1 through 5 because of Iguodaro's versatility, which makes them such a tough team to get to the paint with.
Supreme Cook down low, had it taken away, and it will stay right here. Marquette's won 5 consecutive games. Georgetown has lost 5 consecutive games. Shaka Smart in his 3rd year at Marquette, native of Madison, Wisconsin. Had a good run in his coaching career. Young man at 46 years old, took VCU to the Final Four back in 2011. With Texas for a few years. Here's Epps way outside, got nothing but air. Save, and Mitchell will break out with some help here with Jones. So he's swinging around. Iguodaro, boy, he saw a couple of scouts here today. They really like Iguodaro and Kolek moving forward in their athletic basketball career.
Iguodaro is hard to duplicate.
How about Cam Jones right to the basket? He took a knee to the head in the collision down in Villanova in their last game. That was on Thursday, 85-80.
Also playing off a sprained ankle. Missed his last game because of that as well.
Oh, look at that. The block, the save, but it goes back to Georgetown. Iguodaro with that block. They feed Supreme Cook. And Cooley said he might be the most improved player in the Big East and certainly one of the strongest. And there's a foul.
So Marquette's in the zone now, and they played a lot of zone versus Villanova as well in a 2-3 kind of a matchup, and we'll get a chance to see how Georgetown attacks that. They've got to get paint touches to have some points scored.
Ed Cooley in his 1st year taking over here at Georgetown for Patrick Ewing. Had one really good year. We had a losing record and got to the Big East Championship. As for Eddie, last Saturday, a very unfriendly welcome back to Providence, where he spent 12 seasons.
Yeah, we had a chance to talk to him about that. A range of emotions. This is a guy who grew up 6 miles or 6 minutes from the campus, and you know, he's a fixture in the community. He's done a lot for that school, pretty much built up the fan base there, and people have a lot of strong feelings about it, but he's been able to move on and remember the good, but also look for the future here with the Hoyas.
Almost a turnover for Kolek. They leave him open, straight on. 3, got it.
He's just continues to just prove that he can do it all. And, you know, versus Villanova, he took over that second half and 5 straight possessions, scored 4 threes in that stretch and really took over the game. He can shoot the ball, but he's also a playmaker at first, looking to pass first and then shoot second.
Double team down low. Long 3 is in there for Jay Heath. And a quick counter, Joplin down court quickly. And Marquette is off to an 11-0 and 37-17 lead at Villanova. Wells Fargo Center earlier in the week, and then held on for dear life. Rowan Brumbaugh coming into the game for Georgetown. Shaka, he said, hey, I knew they were going to come back. It was inevitable. He said, don't. He said they really liked what Villanova's doing. They're starting to come around just a little bit.
Well, no, they have some talent, the Wildcats, for sure. And credit to them. They did come back after Marquette jumped out to a really big lead. But that's Big East basketball. It's a game of runs. Shaka Smart knows that. And anybody that coaches in this league, you can never get too comfortable with the lead.
That's the truth. Brumbaugh in the backcourt now. There's Heath. Partially blocked. The Styles trying to get off the three. Trailer on the play. Jones with rhythm shoots a three. Bingo.
But one of the reasons why Marquette is so good in transition is because they build from their defense. That play is an illustration of scoring off their defense. They get the block shot, and then they're pushing it. They're playing with pace. They're playing with tempo. And they've got dynamic scorers that space the floor like Cam Jones.
Marquette won the first game between these two back in Milwaukee on December 22nd, 81-51.
This block right here, it's just great defense, position defense by Joplin. It keeps the ball in play. And then when Kohler gets the ball, he's not looking to dribble it. He's looking to advance it with the advanced pass. That's the best way to get your transition game going.
Kohler posting up. Joplin and miscommunication. He thought Jones was going to go to his left. It's a turnover. Marquette.
This Georgetown team, when we talked to Ed Cooley, he said, look, for us to have a chance in this game, we've got to muck the game up. We've got to make it ugly. We've got to be physical. And we can't allow Marquette to just run up and jack threes and play with tempo the way they like to. They're too good of a team offensively to compete full court.
Ismail Massoud into the game for Georgetown, number 25. See if they can get Epps going, because that's a huge matchup. Offensively, Epps the leading scorer in the Big East Conference.
Look at Brumbaugh guarding. He's out there guarding a 6'2 guard at 6'10.
Back rim, Iguodala with the rebound. Quick outlet to Kolek, who's harassed, maintains control. And he's on the sideline. Turnover. Another turnover. Second for Marquette.
Better job there by the Hoyas getting back in transition. You have to build your defense and get 5 guys sprinting back. That may even mean they can't crash the offensive glass as much. But a nice closeout by Brumbaugh causing the turnover.
Chase Ross turned it over. Smart had a lot of good things to say about Chase Ross and development of his game. Sophomore from Dallas. And another turnover. Joplin on the intercept. Kolek. Epps. He's a lefty going left and couldn't complete it. That was Ross, beg your pardon. Back the other way, Brumbaugh with determination. A little finger roll, left it short.
That was Iguodala again with his shot blocking presence down, protecting the rim. Brings so much to this team defensively.
Kolek way outside, nothing there. And the rebound to Wayne Bristol.
The Hoyas, you know, Jaden Epps is their go-to guy. He's going to take a lot of shots. He's got to be aggressive and attack. And so far, Georgetown's having the trouble to take care of the ball. Marquette in control early.
And Turner with you here in Washington, D.C. 8-4 lead for Marquette. Hottest team in the Big East right now. Well, maybe second only to Connecticut.
Second is Connecticut. Yeah, can't forget that.
No, not at all. 8-4. Here's the Chipotle. Real food for real athletes. Chipotle for real are keys to the game.
Yeah, for Marquette, it's all about pace. They want to play with pace. That doesn't necessarily mean they want to run every time, but the way they play, they push the ball in transition. They're second in the Big East in transition points at about 15 a game, but the way they move the ball, they cut hard, they play with the kind of ferocity offensively where you have to be prepared. And for Georgetown, they have to counter that by getting back in transition defense, slowing that tempo down and making it a half-court game.
Some pressure by the Hoyas. Iguodala. Do it all. He hasn't taken a shot yet until now. Lays it up and in, and the foul on Cook.
You know, Iguodala is so unique, and he can take it off the bounce. He can post up. He can run the floor. And that right there, he had a wide open lane and just attacked Supreme Cook. Just good recognition. Cook was backpedaling, and that's the best time as an offensive player. You want to attack that defender's feet and get to the rim.
Preseason second team all Big East. He's all over the leaderboard. Having a very good year. 14.7 boards, shooting 62% from the field. 6-0 run here by Marquette.
Georgetown has not gotten any paint touches yet. Everything's coming from the perimeter.
The other thing that's concerning, too, is Epps is 0 for 2. They double-team Cook. Massoud coming off a nice game off the bench in his last outing. And he's off to a good start. Shot 5 for 10 up in Providence, 16 points and 7 rebounds.
It starts with the paint touch. Cook with a nice kick out, and Masood, one of their better three-point shooters.
Nice hustle by Wayne Bristol to break up that pass from Kolek.
Masood is a guy that can come off the bench and give them a lift. 8 of 16 from 3 the last 3 games. So a guy like that can stretch the floor and give you some balance with Cook down low.
See how he defends Iguodala here. They get Iguodala at some point. Pick and roll game. Kolek lefty generally goes left. There's the hook shot. It's good.
And you know, everybody in the gym that watches the game knows Kolek's going left. But he's like Avery Johnson.
Right.
Remember, everyone knew Avery Johnson was going left, and he still got there. And you know, Kolek is not super athletic, but he's deceptive. He knows how to use angles, and he's got a nice touch of getting that ball up high off the glass.
Ed Cooley was talking to us about how right to left they go, on their offense, and they got to counterattack.
Watch Tyler Kolek, and watch how he navigates and just spacing and angles. The inside-out change of pace, and then he's going to a strong hand and gets it up right over the top of Cook, who tries to block it. But Kolek just knows how to use his body, his angles, and get to his sweet spot.
If you're an old-timer like me, you like seeing the guards with the hook shots every now and then, too. Not just the 5-man. Here's an interception there by Iguodala. Oh, nice recovery there to make that catch by Mitchell. Kolek, every time he makes a touch, you can see he's always got his head up. Look at that first. There's backdoor cut, knocked away by Masood. Here comes Epps. He needs to get going for Georgetown. Stutter step. He goes with a half hook. Can't get it. Rebound to Ben Gold.
What a great challenge by Iguodala.
Boy, you can see Kolek, if he doesn't put it on the floor, he might have had a layup. Kolek gave him a little head sign now. Keep going, I got you, and they gave it to him.
Well, the Hoyas are doing a good job of sprinting back because they know Kolek is going to push it, and he's always looking for his guys diving. Gold did a nice job of diving to the rim there. You got to be alert, 1 through 5 defensively for Georgetown.
Kolek outside. He's some kind of player having a great year. Tyler Kolek out of Cumberland, Rhode Island, is dead. And Ed Placey, they grew up together in Rhode Island, played a lot of basketball.
Sounds like his dad still playing.
Yeah.
For the Shaka Smart, he's still playing. He's a lifer.
Shaka was telling us that Kolek's dad, Kevin, come and watch practice and go and watch the women's team practice and then watch their extra players or maybe the staff, the managers and whatnot playing. He's still teeing it up. Impressive.
Yeah, Ed Cooley told us that his dad, Kevin, was the kind of guy who, when you were picking teams, you wanted Kevin on your team because he was one of those kind of point guards. Similar to Kolek, a point guard, orchestrator, tough, hard-nosed,
know how to play.
Hooper.
Yeah. Here's Styles at the line.
Now, Styles, junior guard from North Carolina, transferred from North Carolina. Super talented, probably their best athlete. And when I talk to the staff about him, they just want to see him be more aggressive. And he's in a new role now. Didn't play a lot at Chapel Hill, Carolina, but in this game, in this team, they need him to be a guy that can score the ball, attack, and use his athleticism, you know, in the open court.
Especially in this conference, too. Iguodala way outside. Boy, he had a mismatch. Epps on him. Turning the corner. Get it out to speed. Nice work to shake free. In and out. Kept alive by Iguodala. Mitchell dribbles into the paint. Gets it out to Ross. But no panic here at this close. Ross, oh, nice. Oh, yes, indeed. It was a clean steal by Epps. Get it in the corner. Jay Heath. Epps has only had 3 shots. Masood looked to tee it up. Nothing there. Epps checks the clock. It's under 10. There's Heath. Right at the big block. That was a block by Ben Gold, number 12.
Great rotation by Gold, who kind of rotated to the center of the paint and
Backdoor
comes up
cut.
with a big block.
Iguodala in the paint. Jump hook. Been working a lot on that rebound. And we'll keep it right here.
ball movement is such a big part of Marquette's offense. Georgetown doing a pretty good job of guarding in the half court and making it tough for Marquette. And I think Coach Cooley certainly would be happy if the pace is slower. You can make this a half court game.
Ross and Iguodaro take a seat with Kolek back in the game. He launches from way outside, back rim, no good. Masood rebounds.
Georgetown doing a pretty good job so far defensively. He's got to be happy with the start, even though they're down 8. Last few possessions, they've been pretty good.
Trying to end a 5-game losing streak. Heath, change of pace, finger roll, no. Rebound, Styles.
Nice job by Dontrez Styles, is 6'6" guard forward.
How about Kolek? Oh, couldn't finish with the right hand. Went in and out.
You're much more comfortable forcing him right than letting him go left. And you can finish with either hand, but that was a nice job shading him to his right, his weak side.
They're really doing a good job fronting Supreme Cook down in the post. They wanted to get to him, could not. Deflection, Kolek takes over. 2-on-1, layup, counting.
And this is where they kill you.
Yep.
The live ball turnovers that lead to layups. And when you got a 2-on-1 fast break like that with Kolek running the show, is almost a guaranteed layup. One of the best transition teams in the country.
7-0 run. Mitchell with finishing off that play. Well, it has been a struggle here to get something going in the paint. Georgetown. And that's a
one good
layup
sign
by
is Styles.
Yeah.
He's the one good sign. He's come out here with an aggressive mindset. He's on the offensive glass. He's scoring around the rim.
Styles has their last 6. Kolek turns the corner. Free look. There's Masood, the rebound off the miss. Back the other way. Heath layup. Got it. Nice conversion that time off the miss by Mitchell.
Oh, the first transition basket for the Hoyas, and this crowd showing that they like that.
Kolek shakes free.
Well, what he did there
Nobody
was
stopping.
He rejected the ball screen. The defense was prepared for him to use the screen. That's one of his go-to moves. He went straight baseline and got a clear angle for an easy lay-in.
Who's going to be the offensive trigger point here for Georgetown? Epps, who has been sick all week, practiced yesterday. As Brumbaugh throws it out of bounds, another turnover by Georgetown.
Jay Heath, the senior, getting out in transition and getting this crowd into the game. One of the few bright spots for the Hoyas, trying to make a push down 6.
Early lead for high-flying Marquette, 20-14 here in Washington, D.C. Let's go inside the huddle of the Hoyas. Here's Ed Cooley.
Take care of the ball. Just calm down. Jay Heath, pay attention to the huddle. Pay attention to the huddle. Where is our positional defense, regardless of what you think? Our positional defense, we should be there, right? We got to continue to put, we're turning the ball over, and they're getting easy shots. Tilt the floor. Tilt the floor.
The main points of emphasis are taking care of the ball. They got 7 turnovers, and those turnovers are killing them because they're leading to fast break baskets or even open threes, which are also transition baskets the way Marquette plays. When he talks about tilting the floor, he's talking about Marquette. They like to go right to left because Kolek's a lefty player. Cooley wants him to shrink the floor and force him to go left to right and force them to go to the right side of the floor, which is Kolek's weak side.
Pressure here by the Hoyas. Get it to Iguodaro, who can handle, too. 7 turnovers for Georgetown, 7 points. The conversion rate by Marquette. Joplin will tee up a 3, and he hits it.
Well, he's so important to their team. In fact, he's probably their X factor. He's playing great, and when we talked to Shaka Smart, he said, we want him to play with confidence, we want him to be aggressive, and we want him to realize how important he is to our team.
Yeah.
And he's starting to show that this last few games.
11th three-point shot made. Here's Epps. Partially blocked, kept alive. He's at Iguodaro.
They got numbers again.
Finds the open man. Joplin feeling good. A little short. Ooh. Bangs into Mitchell. Kolek left free. Deadly. Absolutely deadly. And a quick timeout by Ed Cooley. When we talked to Ed before the game, he says, hey, starting all over. He's everywhere he's been. He's there as an assistant coach or a head coach. Talking about Fairfield, talking about Boston College, Rhodey. Obviously turned around Providence. He's confident that it's headed in the right direction, but it's a slow process.
Well, he knows what it takes. I mean, like you just said, all 4 of his stops, including this one, he's inherited a program that was in last place. So that takes a certain mindset. It takes a certain kind of patience. It takes a certain philosophy. And, you know, he's in year 1. He knows that there's got to be some trials and tribulations. But this man right here is the reason why Coach Cooley called that timeout, because he controls the game. And so far in this first half, he's made every shot almost, and he's gotten to his spots and gotten his teammates involved as well. He's just a premier point guard, one of the best point guards in the country, and he's building off of a great year that he had last year.
He's got a game-high 10 points on 5 for 8 shooting, 3 for 5 from beyond the arc. Making 13 points. He is on fire.
Shaka Smart is very happy with his leadership. He does a great job of keeping these guys connected, but he's told us that his players are such a unique group. They're so closely bonded and they play for each other. You can see the way they play on the court, that they make the right play rather than play for themselves.
Bristol fade away, nothing there, and a rebound taken out by Joplin. The other thing that's interesting about this Marquette team, last year, regular season and Big East tournament champions, they come in pretty much the prohibitive favorite. Nice slip, dunk. Iguodaro finishes it off.
That's just primary way to execute a screen and roll, and Coach Cooley has to burn another timeout.
And Cooley said he's going to use all his timeouts early.
Well, you see why, because of stuff like this. Great screen and slip. Kolek, the best passer. Iguodaro, definitely the best finisher.
Marquette has doubled up Georgetown. Right now, let's go inside the huddle of that man right there, Shaka Smart.
Make sure one play at a time, we stay connected first and foremost with our tone. It's amazing how much quicker we are when we communicate. All right, then the next thing is, all right, when we rotate to help someone, the next guy's got to help him. All right, we've got to go home a little bit sooner once they picked up their dribble to find shooters with the downhand. He's good on this one.
He's just reminding them, look, don't get complacent, don't let up, and pay attention to detail, and rotating, communicating is what allows you to get out and get stops, and they've done a really good job of that. But like you said, in their last game versus Villanova, they jumped out early, and then they got a little complacent, and that's human nature, and Villanova made a run, and he doesn't want that to happen today versus Hoyerton.
Frame Cook, they tried to post, couldn't get it to him.
Another turnover for the Hoyers. They just have had trouble getting angles. They're not getting the right angles to get the ball into the post, and they're not cutting hard enough to get open.
Stepping into the jumper. Gonna work. Here's Iguodaro. They get another opportunity. Way outside, knocking it down. It's Cam Jones.
With those extra
13-0 run.
Those second chance opportunities are backbreakers. And this is a team that spaces it so well. And they've got 3 shooters on the floor right now. We talk about, Cam Jones being one of them. And he's a great guy to just skip the ball to and just put pressure on your defense.
Here's another steal. A nice hang and convert. Well done by David Joplin.
And what's the common theme here, Dave? Turnovers. Marquette has been aggressive. They're guarding without fouling. They're jumping the screens. They're getting in the passing lanes. And here's another great job. And another point off the turnover. That's the 15th point that Marquette scored off the turnover.
That's a heck of a lot of points at the 6:54 mark first half. Joplin out of Brookfield, Wisconsin. 9 points and 3 boards last year. He's up to 10 points and almost 4 points this year. 64% at the line. And you can see he moves really well on the offensive end. Look at this defense they're picking up. Again, leading scorer in the Big East Conference. Here's Epps. Jaden Epps 0 for 4 from the field. He's averaging 19 points a game.
Well, it's been a big responsibility for us because he's at the top of everyone's scouting report. He's handling the ball out. Nice interior pass there.
Rumbaugh to Masood. Boy, they needed that.
Yes, they did.
Roll game with Iguodaro. Kolek. Let's good look at that stroke, Benny. That is something else. David Joplin again.
They're just so in sync. I mean, you can tell that Joplin and Kolek, they practice that constantly. And you know, that was just a perfectly executed screen and pop for a guy who's playing great basketball in Joplin.
Well, you were a point guard. You'd love it when you get your shooters. Get them the ball when their feet are set. All they have to do is just let it
get it right in their pocket. Yep. Kolek does a great job of delivering the ball with a receiving person. They just got to catch and shoot.
Missed it. Smart enough to get it outside. Kolek, no. And Jones is already celebrating. And his hands up in the air. And he comes back with a block and a foul. But when Kolek had that teed up, let it fly.
Up like it was
and his hands up like this is in. Boy, it's going good when you can see your teammates doing that kind of stuff. They have that much confidence in you.
Yeah, and they play with a controlled confidence. They're not cocky, but here's Epps pushing it. And
that's a good block in there by Jones. But he got him with the body, too.
And this young man, Epps, transferred from Norfolk, Virginia, went to Illinois, and I talked to the assistant, Ivan Thomas, who's going to be a head coach at some point on that Cooley staff. And they recruited Epps when they were at Providence. And Epps grew up in Norfolk, Virginia on the same street that Ivan Thomas grew up on. So they've got a long history. This young man is one of the cornerstones of Georgetown's new regime, and he's going to be around. So he's a guy that you got to be patient with. He's only a sophomore, Dave. A lot of talent, taking a lot of tough shots.
Yeah.
But as they get more help, he's going to be more comfortable because he's really a two-guard converted to a point guard, which is a lot of responsibility.
Oh, that's a big change, too, and he's been sick. Here's a turnover, but Marquette gets it right back. Shaka Smart, when he was talking to us, and you heard him in the huddle, how connected they are. It's so true. But the point, the focal point, they all look for Kolek to get him the ball and make things happen. Coming up on the 5-minute mark, Rumbaugh. Oh, nice patience. Put the man up in the air and converts, but a quick counter by Marquette. Kolek taking himself. No, now gives to Joplin. He's got a mismatch. Knows it. Flips it. No. Rebound. Taken down by Drew Fielder. Just came in the game. Who was recruited by Ed Cooley to Providence. Out of Boise, Idaho. And there's a foul. A blocking foul.
Rowan Broombaugh, the freshman, 6'4" guard. Started some, come off the bench a little bit. He's another part of this young core that's still learning, been up and down, but they're just trying to make a play off the dribble handoffs. A lot of growing pains with this team.
Boy, I'll say.
You know, this is a team that they kind of consider their core three guys as
everybody learning something new every day, too.
Supreme Cook.
There's Heath. Cross court. Mitchell, no. Back from easy rebound for Iguodaro. That's Bristol, beg your pardon. And Bristol with the intercept. Turnover by Marquette. See if they run this play. Coming up on 4 minutes ago here in the first half. The other big kid known for shooting, and a foul before him.
Well, because the Hoyas don't really have a back-to-the-basket player in the lineup, Supreme Cook's probably their only real interior presence. He's not in the game. You know, they're playing more of a five-out kind of style of offense where they're trying to create some space for driving lanes and attack off the bounce when they can reverse it. And they can get some space and they'll have some chances.
From Pog. Step through, tip, no good. That last foul, by the way, was on Ben Gold. And we get a timeout here with Marquette off to a tremendous start here in Washington, D.C. A lot of things working for Shaka Smart's crew, looking for win number 6 in a row. During the month of February, the Big East Conference will celebrate Black History Month by partnering with the Black Fives Foundation, a nonprofit public charity whose mission is to preserve, teach, and honor the pre-NBA history of African Americans in basketball. Fans can follow all of the Big East Black Fives initiatives online at bigeast.com/blackfives. Great time of the year to celebrate these folks who came before us here in the game of basketball. Meanwhile, Marquette on the road looking good, in control, up by 17 there. They are just putting it all together here, Terry Turner.
And they really are. 50% from the field, 7 of 15 from 3, and scoring off their defense. They've been phenomenal on pretty much every aspect of the game. And just really, it started from the beginning. Tyler Kolek got them organized, got them out in transition. They scored 16 points off of turnovers, and then they've had the spacing, they've had the shooting. I think they're playing their best basketball at the most important time as we get ready for this big month of February.
Marquette, regular season and Big East tournament defending champions and prohibitive favorite by the coaches to start the season. In their preseason poll, it was Marquette number 1, Creighton number 2, and UConn number 3. How about Butler with a win last night at Creighton?
Yeah, I mean, the league is great, and I think this next few weeks is going to, there's a lot of different scenarios. Clearly, UConn is in front, and rightfully so. They've been dominant. I think they won 10 straight now. And, then you got Creighton who's coming off a loss at home versus Butler, as you mentioned. Marquette is right there. I mean, they haven't dropped off at all from last year. They lost one player, Prosper, who's in the NBA, and they got everyone back. And the thing about Marquette is everybody knows their role, everyone's comfortable in their role, and everybody excels in their role. So when you have that in a great coach like Shaka Smart and their staff, what more can you ask for?
Here's Kolek. Nice look off. Goes Iguodaro for the reverse.
And the zone offense for them was all about ball movement. They got about 3 ball reversals there, and then the penetration by Kolek, and he just knows how to find those seams. And Iguodaro does a great job. He's got great hands. Another good finish for him. There's a reason why he shoots 63% from the field.
Boy, they're being stymied by this zone. 10 seconds.
Well, this is a good change for Marquette because of the fact that
was partially blocked.
Georgetown's strength is attacking the basket. You want to protect the paint and change things up by going 2-3.
Styles hit that shot partially blocked. Feed down low. Jump hook by Iguodaro. He's putting a lot of work on that one. One of the assistant coaches. That one's short.
Assistant coach Mark Dixon's done a great job working with it.
Big run out. Layup. And we got an offensive foul. Offensive foul against Chase Ross.
That was a great job by Rowan Brumbaugh. He sprints back, plants his feet out of the restricted area. Good call, and that's good transition defense by the freshman.
Coming up on the Jeep halftime report, we're going to preview all of Saturday's slate on Fox and a Caitlin Clark feature. She is having a magnificent season and career.
Sure it is.
Real deal.
Captivated the whole country with her ability to score.
Beat the pressure getting into the front court. Just under 2.5 to go first half. It's been all Marquette. Saved by Bristol. Leading the Sood. Just a step back. He's got 6 on the shot clock. Brumbaugh. Boy, he shoved off. And with the offhand. Trying to shake free.
Yep.
Third team foul.
It's very hard to get some kind of continuity offensively when you have, really a team with really not anyone that can break you down off the dribble. And then there's spacing right there is not really there because the shooting is not there.
Joplin has had a lot of free looks, and that was yet another.
Marquette is just rolling. I mean, they're just really comfortable. They're getting everything they want. Coach Cooley is frustrated, but a lot of his frustration has to do with the fact that they just don't have enough firepower right now at this point in this first year to match up with this veteran experienced Marquette team.
You got Epps has been under the weather all week, and they can't get the post game going, as you mentioned. Hey, tonight, Fox Sports is proud to introduce the first ever Caitlin Cam. It's presented by State Farm. So live during the Iowa at Maryland game, you're going to see every move by the Iowa start. Caitlin Clark's every dribble, pass, and shot. All Caitlin all the time. Only on the Fox College Hoops TikTok live stream. I saw a clip of her in her game a couple of nights ago. Coming across in transition, she might have got 2 steps across the midline, the most comfortable 40-foot shot I've seen in a long time.
She's
in regulation.
And she's a great person, great leader, great teammate.
2 minutes to go here, first half. Yeah, no doubt about it. Great play. And all Marquette. Here's Epps back in the game.
Eventually, Marquette goes back to man-to-man, so they're switching their defense up, trying to keep Georgetown off balance.
Talk about Kolek going almost exclusively left. Epps goes almost exclusively right. Soon, and he gets the layup.
Well, that's a good way to get yourself going. And for a second, Epps had nowhere to go. And when you're not, when you can't use your dribble again, you need some help. And a nice recognition by Masood with the back cut.
7 points off the bench for Georgetown team-wise. Masood has all 7. Kolek. Oh, he thought he was going to have Jones breaking towards the basket.
This is one of the few highlights for the Hoyas. It's a great look here. But Masood did the work by getting open. He was being denied on the wing by Kolek, and Kolek overplayed him. So he goes back door for an easy layup.
There's Epps bringing it across, coming up in a minute to go. Up by 20, Marquette. Epps fending off with that right hand. Boy, Mitchell really doing a good job harassing him. Masood way outside. 7 on the shot clock. Cutter, Bristol. Difficult shot, rebound, ripped down. And here comes, that was Zaid Lowry. Mitchell goes up, loses it. And then Iguodala loses it. Come the Hoyas. But he got nobody in the paint.
No, they're going 5 out here, and they don't really have a post presence, so they're pretty much going with 5 perimeter players. Coach Cooley wants to try to hold for 1, even though there's about a 5-second differential. Shot clock to game clock.
5 seconds. Heath, and from the backside, he has to chuck it as Mitchell came over to provide a triple team. That was well done, came from his blind side.
Those are little things, but those are really big things, and that's what Mitchell is really good at. In his role, he is a guy that's going to get deflections, get loose balls, make open shots when he gets them, and guard usually one of the better perimeter players on the other team. In this case, he's matched up on Epps a lot in this first half and done a really good job of slowing him down.
11th turnover by Georgetown. Boy, it has been a tough go here today.
6 seconds left. They're going to adjust it to 6.2 to be exact. Plenty of time for Marquette to put a shot off.
Get it to Kolek. On left, going hard. And he draws a foul.
Bristol did his best to keep him off his left, but again, Kolek said, I'm not going to be stopped. I'm going to keep pushing, pushing, pushing. You know, he's just determined to get to his spot. Masood could have helped off a little bit, but Gold is a shooter, so I understand why he didn't completely leave him. And that goes back to spacing. When you have spacing and you have a shooter like Gold on the strong side, the help side defense can't cheat off too much. He doesn't want to give up a 3.
Kolek 87%. Kolek 87% at the line. His first trip to the free throw line today, 14 points. What a first half. Points off of turnovers. Marquette 20-0. As Kolek knocks down a couple. Supreme Cook returns to the lineup for Georgetown.
Marquette is just a very well-balanced team. They can beat you a number of ways, and today in this first half has been primarily off their defense and in transition.
I was going to say they checked up those 2 boxes and about 10 others. Cook, maybe the strongest guy in the team, comes up a little bit short. It's all Marquette here in D.C. No doubt about it, 20 minutes by the Golden Eagles. They have really performed well. I think they've hit all their points that they wanted to make in the first half. We're going to return to the arena for stats and analysis after this break. It's Marquette big here in D.C. You are looking at a very non-stressed Marquette fan, and why not? The score indicates that's how we should feel right now. 44-22 back here in D.C. Capital One Center. Dave Sims, Tariq Turner. Georgetown with a lot of questions to answer here in the second half, and I think one of the things that Ed Cooley's going to say, hey boys, let's compete. I was down here a few weeks ago. They played against Seton Hall. They were down big, and they were down 16 and got right back in the game and made it a contest.
Yeah, well, there's 2 different messages for Coach Cooley. You're right. They got to play better. They got to take care of the ball. They got to get back in transition, and most importantly, they cannot turn the ball over because that led to Marquette just running all over them. 21 points off of turnovers, and then on the other side, Coach Smart, Shaka Smart, he's going to tell his team, look, we had to play the great first half. This first 5 minutes of the second half, we can't let up. We can't let them get back in this game or give them any confidence. We got to keep our foot on their neck, so to speak, and run away with this game. And that comes from the maturity and the leadership of guys like Tyler Kolek and also Iguodaro.
Around the rest of the Big East, boy, the Garden was jumping today. 77-64, UConn. And later on, Xavier plays at DePaul. Well, here we go, second half action. It's been all Marquette. And there's a turnover by Joplin. He was looking for Jones to be where he last visualized him, but that was not the case.
Warriors opened up in a 2-3, an active 2-3. And they have gone back and forth between man-to-man and 2-3 the entire game.
Brumbaugh drawing a foul. And it's interesting watching how Ed Cooley started the second half. You talked about Epps by nature is a 2-guard. They got him playing at the 2-guard and have Brumbaugh set it up as the point guard.
In a perfect world, I think they want to play Epps off the ball more than on the ball because he's a scorer by nature, and they want him to not be the focal point of the defense so much. But the problem is that he's their best overall scorer.
Partial block and full block by Iguodaro. And then keep in mind, too, if you're just joining us, Epps been under the weather. Only practiced once this week. Mitchell layup, and he got it. Nice feed by Iguodaro. He can do pretty much everything.
Brumbaugh made a gamble on the steal and got penalized for it, and Mitchell got that angle for an easy layup.
Boy, look at the heads here by Iguodaro. Wow.
Not too many bigs at 6'10" can do that, and then get back to their original man and not get beat.
That was impressive. And there'll be a foul on Joplin. But that move by Iguodaro, that's not something he makes the highlights all the time, but that is a vital part of the game.
I tell you what, if you're a scout, that jumps out because it shows his ability to guard and impact the game on the defensive end. He can guard 1 through 5. He can hedge high on ball screens, and then on the offensive end, he's probably the best passing big man I've seen. And that goes back to last season. He is a selfless player. Coach Shaka Smart said he's the most unique player he's ever coached. And it's because he's so selfless, and he wants his teammates to do better than him. And that's really unique to see.
Boy, I tell you what, he's got great numbers, too. As you look at Styles at the line to transfer from North Carolina. And a couple at the line is Iguodaro handling
the ball up there. He can do that.
What are you doing?
Boy, the deep corner, moving around. Marquette's won 5 consecutive games. Jump up with the left hand, very impressive.
That's the versatility. That's a game. That's a part of his game he's improved on. And right shoulder jump hook. He didn't have that when he first got here, but working with the coaches, Mark Dixon done a great job working with him one-on-one and improved his overall offensive game.
9 points for Iguodala. Boy, when you read about the work he's put in, it's been extensive. Steal and then a regain by Georgetown. Knocked away, but it's going to be a foul. The trail arm was on his back for the foul.
Well, I like to see Supreme Cook get some looks offensively. He hasn't touched the ball much. As we go back to Iguodala here, watch the ability to put the ball on the floor and create off the bounce at 6'10". You don't see that every day.
Foul on Iguodala is first, knocked out of bounds.
Going back to Cook, the big man, he hasn't touched the ball much. He sat out most of the first half, and he's their horse down low. He's one of the best offensive rebounders in the Big East. One of the strongest players in the Big East. Yeah.
Mitchell, the rebound, miss. Backdoor cut, give and go. What do we got? A foul before. Pretty basic stuff. But again, passing big man like that, and a lot of it's not a chore for them. Some guys that big guys, they don't want to pass, but they get the ball in deep, they want to do something.
Well, if you're playing with Iguodala, you know you're going to get the ball back. If you cut hard and get open, he's looking for you, and he can deliver the pass right on the money.
Kolek, no, and loose ball comes to Brumbaugh. Pence would love to get going here. It's 0 for 5, leading scorer in the Big East. Brumbaugh. But he got free. Epps goes left, takes a bump, flips up the right hand. Iguodala had it knocked out of his hands, and a quick transition. Kolek going left. That kid has had a bunch of open threes, and he has just been drilling it. David Joplin.
Well, he's getting plenty of time, and he's got a guy named Tyler Kolek, who's one of the best point guards in the country, who just got right into the paint, dribble penetration, and a perfect delivery.
Joplin's got 15. He's 4 for 8 from 3, 5 for 10 overall from the field. Marquette's ability to transition from defense to offense is impressive. Supreme Cook, rebound, put back. How about this? That was his first shot. Yeah. That comes at the 16:50 mark, second half.
He caught Iguodala in the eye. Supreme Cook, but if you're Ed Cooley, you are okay with that. Not that it was a dirty play, but you got to be forceful down there and show some physicality.
Not that time. Nobody there to guard the bucket. Easy play for Chase Ross.
Well, Ed Cooley is beside himself. You can watch him and look at his expression on the sideline, and he is losing his mind because there's no resistance defensively for his team.
Brumbaugh got inside. Quick counter. Here comes Kolek. Trailer. Ross draws contact. They're going to count that? No.
Looks like they're going to call a technical foul.
Yep.
For someone on Marquette. On Ross, Chase Ross, they're going to call a tech on him.
Yeah, he was probably beefing the call he didn't get along the baseline, far side left. Pat Driscoll.
And a lot of contact there. He wanted a foul call.
Yep.
Well, there was a foul call there. He wasn't, I'm not sure what his point of frustration was. And Matt Potter just stopped by and says that there was a unsportsmanlike technical foul called on Chase Ross. A little bit too mouthy to the officials, it sounds like.
Probably didn't use language suitable for family TV. Let's see, because he put it up and he thinks he's good. Then he said something to Brumbaugh. Okay, that's what it was. Mark, that was right there, and he heard it.
Probably said something like, "You can't guard me," but it was a little bit more language to it.
With more adjectives. Yeah. Iguodala and loses him. And whoa, my goodness! Right to Stevie Mitchell. It's been that kind of day for Georgetown.
Well, Stevie Mitchell has got a knack for loose balls. He's scrappy, highly intelligent, just a really good role player, older guy. He's a junior now, and great student as well. Just kind of guy you want to coach. And you don't hear a lot about him, but he brings a lot to this team.
Great value in his team. The look, well-intentioned. That was slip. That is not a foul.
Lost his footing.
Trey Norman lost his footing. And taken down by Gold. Fielder couldn't convert. He was right at the basket. Gold. Well, he got knocked down. Numbers. Epps gives the Fielder. Walked. And that'll be another turnover. Well, it's been a really difficult day.
Tyler Kolek, the maestro, doing it all here, but what he does best is find his teammates and make it easy for them. Drive and dish. That's good.
Dave Sims and Tariq Turner with you here, Washington, D.C. It's been on Marquette all afternoon, and boy, they have exploited a lot of weaknesses here today.
Well, they have, and what they've done is they moved the ball so well, and the ball reversal, the unselfishness, making the extra pass, and just looking for each other as they cut is a big part of why Marquette is one of the best offensive teams in this Big East Conference. And right here with the zone, as a defender, you've got to make sure you don't let anyone get behind you. But Supreme Cook lets Chase Ross sneak behind him, and Marquette is looking for cutters at all times, and Cook just sneaks right behind the defense and gets a high percentage layup.
Frustrating time for Ed Cooley. We mentioned in all of his previous spots as a coach or an assistant coach, turn things around, and this is that first year where it's really difficult. 53 of the 55 Marquette points scored by starters. Trey Norman in the game for Marquette, number 5. Here's Iguodala to Kolek. Oh, nice spin, right-hand finish. Beautiful.
And just because he likes to go left doesn't mean he can't go right. And there's a great job by Kolek getting into the paint, no resistance, and getting an angle again with that beautiful spin for the layup.
He's got 17, 15 for Joplin. Nobody in double figures yet for Georgetown. Brumbaugh, Fielder, put it up with the left hand and gets a nice bounce. Drew Fielder out of Boise, Idaho.
6'10" freshman, showing some signs of potential.
Oh, good no-look pass. Iguodala, he saw the cutter on the move, Stevie Mitchell.
Yes, he did. And when you play with Iguodala, it's just a thrill because you know that you're going to get the ball if you cut hard and find an open space. And Stevie Mitchell, one of the better cutters on this team.
Tell me about another team that has a point guard like Kolek and a guy who plays the 3, 4, and 5 spot that can pass like Iguodala.
He's unique. He's like a point forward, point center.
Epps bounces it off his foot. Gets rid of it. Shot clock runs out. How about that? He hit it. Oh, man.
Stevie Mitchell again. He caused that turnover because of his hustle. He got the deflection. And then Kolek on the other end just continues to just wreck shop. When he gets an angle, he's going to make you pay, and he had the mismatch there on the 6'10" Felder, who didn't have the foot speed to keep up.
He sold that move going left. Sold it well. Down the lane with the left hand to convert. Cameron Jones getting everything he wants.
Well, the screen and roll from Marquette, they've got 2 guys that can create, or actually 3 if you include Iguodala, Cam Jones, and Kolek, that can really cause your defense problems.
And what do we got? It's going to be Marquette ball.
If you're Ed Cooley, Dave, how do you keep the excitement? How do you keep the encouragement? Well, you've got to make sure that you understand, or make your team understand that, look, we've got a whole another month and change. We can still steal some of these games. He believes he can still win some more of these games in the conference, but he's got to get his 3 core guys. Cameron Jones continues to light it it up. But he's got, Ed Cooley's got to get Supreme Cook, Dontrez Styles, and Jaden Epps to be the guys that carry this team. And today hasn't really been that case.
And Epps, a non-factor, 0 for 6. He's the leading scorer in the Big East. Masood way outside. Batted through, and a save by Jones. Iguodaro. Iguodaro going to take jump hook, and he gets fouled. Fouled by Fielder.
Well, they want Iguodaro to push the ball. When he can get it off of makes or misses, they're totally comfortable with him kind of playing that point guard role.
I saw an NBA scout who I go way back with a lot of years. Very impressed by Iguodaro. His skill set, I mean, how can you not be?
Well, he can do everything except really shoot. He doesn't shoot threes. He's only taken 3 threes, I think, in this season. But he can handle it. He can pass it. He can rebound. He can block shots. He can switch 1 through 5. And when you can do all those things, there's a spot for you on the next level.
Shaka Smart said the most unique player that he's ever been around. He said he's unselfish to a fault. So he's the kind of guy being an NBA team that can just uplift everybody. 8-0 run here by Marquette. Styles down the lane, and it completes the play.
There you go. Good to see Styles attack the basket.
Joplin feeling it from 3. Can't get that one. Gold with the rebound. Get a new clock. They looked off the defender. Jade Lowry in the game. Number 10 for Marquette. Step back, Mitchell. 3, got it. I think that Jones, beg your pardon, Jones.
He's such a talented offensive player, and he wanted to switch. He got it as they exchanged, and nobody makes that step back 3 look easier than him.
13 for Jones, 4 for 4. Get that 16 points and a missed hook shot. Fielder has it knocked out of his hands. Would have got a foul before. Tell you about that foul when we come back.
Cam Jones has been the guy coming back off an ankle injury, showing no rust. The 3-ball, a big part of his arsenal, making it look easy.
Marquette, dominant performance this afternoon, going for their 6th consecutive win. 11:07 to go here in the second half. Let's go inside the Georgetown huddle and head coach Ed Cooley.
I got to stay connected here, right? It's not going the way we want it to go, but hey, listen, it's a lot of game to play. We got to win this war here, right? You got to be a lot better. You got to be a lot more physical in there. When we drive and kick, you got to see the open guy. See the open guy here. We got to keep playing.
Well, one of the things about Coach Cooley is, he's going to be honest, but he's also going to be positive and optimistic and try to get you to see the big picture. We've talked about how he's inherited some programs in the past where they were on the bottom, and he knows this is a process. He's got to be real about it. Let them know, look, it's not going our way, but we still got to fight. We still got to push, and we got to look at the little victories as big victories, and hopefully it can carry on to the next game.
A lot of experience in the Big East Conference, 12 years at Providence, and then a lot of years at Boston College when BC was in the Big East, so he knows about it. And I like what you said to Fielder, you got to be more physical.
Yeah. That was part of the game plan coming into this one, was bucket up and be physical.
And count the bucket. Well, up fake, driving to the hole. Nicely done by the freshman out of Boise, Idaho, Drew Fielder. Eddie recruited him to Providence, and Drew came with him down here to Georgetown.
You know what? Good for him. Fielder, the freshman, he's
good looking move.
Still learning how to play on this level of competition, and Coach Cooley jumps on him in the timeout, and he comes back and responds with a nice play.
He's got a nice stroke, too. Good rotation on the ball. I think next year when we see him, he'll probably have about 15 pounds put on him, and he'll be down in a low box demanding the ball.
Yeah, I mean, he's a freshman. He's definitely got a big off-season ahead of him, and he's going to have to improve on every aspect.
Gold, similar type player, missed from outside. That thing went down and came out. Cote. Fielder lost the handle. And boy, he had an opportunity to score there. He had a much smaller guy on him. He had Trey Norman. Joplin's been outstanding today. His three-point game has been outstanding. He's been a beneficiary of some great setups by Pollard. There's Jones, a step back three, fade away, and he got it. Wow.
I mean, he's just silky smooth, and he loves that step back going to his right. And when he's in the lineup with Kolek, I mean, they're dynamic backcourt, one of the best backcourts in the country. 14 of his 19 points here in the second half. Glad to see him up and at him. Fielder gets the layup. See Jones back injured. Took a knee to the head in a collision in the Villanova game Thursday up in Philly. Quick trigger release and all net. And Jones. He gets so much lift and arc on his shot. And he's just in a nice rhythm. 6 for 6 from 3.
Woo. Seen a lot of good and great shooting exhibitions, and this is one of them, I can tell you that. Jones, 14 of the last 15 points by Marquette. Whoa. He's just playing with him now.
Wheeling and dealing here.
Trying to set him up. Feeling it. Didn't get that one. At one point, I thought he was going to shoot from Caitlin Clark range. Miscommunication. Cote thought Rumbaugh was going to go left towards the basket.
Cam Jones, the junior from Memphis, shooting that one from Memphis. He thought he got fouled, but Shaka Smart got to be happy to have him back in the lineup, missing his last game. And, you know, he's a talented player.
No doubt about it. Marquette averages 8 threes a game. And getting that done and more. They got 13 today.
It's just too easy. And that's why Ed Cooley is so frustrated, because defensively, there's been no resistance. There's been so many blow-bys, nothing contested. And Marquette is just getting whatever shot they want, basically.
I was down here for the Seton Hall game, and they got off to a start where they were down 16, and we went inside the huddle and played, and Ed said, hey, relax, just play. Come on, let's just play ball. I'm not getting that today.
No, well, I mean, it's a team that needs some confidence, and when your best player, Epps, is struggling the way he has, he's 0 of 6, 2 points.
Yeah, 19 points a game, yeah. That'll hurt you. Jones. Kolek feeding a hot hand. Why not? Why not?
7 of 8 from 3.
That young man is putting on a show. 13 points in the last 3 minutes. Woo. Austin Montgomery in the game, first time, number 4. Sood down deep, turned it over. He was in shooting range, and Iguodala picked it off. Trailing to Jones. His teammates feeding him. Iguodala lost it out of bounds. Well, Cam Jones started the second half trick. That's the man right there.
He's putting on a show, and he looks real comfortable. The smooth lefty from Memphis carrying his Marquette team.
Treat to watch And you want to talk about some numbers. Look at this. I mean, great Kelsey Plum from the University of Washington. 35-27. Caitlin Clark, 34-24. And Kelsey Mitchell. Man,
she's must-watch TV. I mean, she's such a great player, great leader. And that's some pretty good company right there.
Yes,
with Kelsey Plum was a
Speaking of Showtime, how about this guy right here, Cam Jones, what he's doing?
Oh, you know, there's going to be nicks and knacks and bruises and injury is something that you have to deal with as a team. And when we talked to Shaka Smart, you know, he talked about how to deal with that. They, you know, they've had some injuries. Sean Jones, talented guard, out with an ACL, and you know, Stevie Mitchell missed a bunch of games and just came back recently, and now Cam Jones is back. So that's part of being a really good team. How do you play through that? And they certainly have done a good job.
Tell you what kind of game it is. Oh, he's stealing now. That is just stealing. Jones at 29.
Yeah, he looks like he's having a nice, smooth bike ride. You know, and just in the park, just cruising.
And last time down for Georgetown, Epps got the bucket, his first of the day, 1 for 7. He turned it over, and a foul. And it's Al Amadou.
You know, going back to Georgetown, Dave, you know, ultimately, this Georgetown program is going to be fine. From the outside looking in, you look at the record, you look at even today's game, but you know, what they have in store is a really targeted recruiting class for next year. And obviously they have some core pieces here with Styles, Epps, and Supreme Cook. Supreme Cook not having his best day today, but he is a Big East player. One of the top offensive rebounders in the league, physical specimen, a guy who kind of personifies Ed Cooley's personality. Tough, hard-nosed, plays like his, you know, life depends on it. We haven't really seen that fire today. But, you know, earlier in the season, he had 16 and 8 in the first half versus UConn. Let's not forget that. It's a talented big man. So they have some pieces, but they need time. And that's part of that's part of Ed Cooley's plan in year one, to be patient and be positive.
A rare miss by Jones. Jones has surpassed his career best. He's got 29. Previous number was 26. Epps with just 5 points today, leading scorer in the Big East. There's a steal by Jones. What else is new? We got numbers. Jones going to take it himself and lay it up and in. Wow, is he unreal today? 23 of 24 points in the second half.
Been phenomenal. And if you're Shaka Smart, you got to be really happy to see your starting shooting guard come back from an injury playing this well.
No doubt about it. Runner in a lane, that'll work.
First time we've seen Epps get to the paint and finish.
Just his second bucket. He's mentioned leading scorer Big East, about 19 a game. Here's Jones. His teammates just continue to look for him. Oh, he tried to give it back to him. Kolek will pop one from there. Rebound taken out by Supreme Cook. Under 5 to play. Cote almost lost it. Styles takes a bump. And foul's going to go against Al Amadou. He is a Philadelphia kid from Chestnut Hill Academy.
Somebody else go to school there?
My alma mater.
This Cam Jones just in the passing lane. And he's a big guard. He's 6'4", 6'5", got length.
Good handle.
Be careful around him.
And it's definitely a dominant left-hand guy, but his versatility handling has been impressive.
Yeah.
And the shooting's been out of control.
He's got a chance to play at the next level. He's doesn't get the same kind of height, but he's put on a show today.
Yes, he did. Marquette fans here in the building appreciate what he's turned in. A career best 31 points. How about this? 12 of 15 from the field, 7 of 9 from deep in 21 minutes.
21 minutes.
Yeah, 31 points in 21 minutes.
Not bad.
These coaches will watch this tape and say, hey, what's the formula? Because I'd like to buy some for a bunch of my guys.
Not that easy.
No, it's not. Might get a chance to score. blocked. He'll shoot a couple at the line.
Making you proud, Chestnut?
Yeah, it's not every day you see one of our guys, and we do a lot of good things at Chestnut Hill Academy. Now, Springside Chestnut Hill Academy. Don't get too many major D1 performers.
It was great talking with Shaka before the game, you and I, and he talked about what he's been able to do with this team off the court. He had a moment last night where he was able to have a couple of his former players from VCU, Trevion Graham, great player, played in the NBA, now going to Taiwan to play, and another guy named David Hinton, who was a walk-on, who's now part of the Secret Service.
That's United States Secret Service, where he guards the presidents. We're talking the big dogs, the top guys.
Yeah, and he had a chance to speak to the team about his experiences and what basketball did for him and open up doors for him to his current career as a Secret Service agent. And just tying in the big picture about what it's about. You know, this is just a phase in their life, but there's a next step and two different paths. Trevion Graham still playing professionally, and David Hinton as a Secret Service.
But Hinton, they said the guys were they were impacted by the basketball conversation, but boy, when they start talking about guarding presidents and traveling around the world, that was an eye-opener.
Yeah, I think he's been to every continent in the world in just this year.
Umba with a three. Norman operating on a sideline, moving around. Norman, that's a three ball, back rim. Gold took it away and fouled Fielder. Boy. I thought that might have been a play on. Looked like he cleanly took it out of the young man's hands, and Fielder fell down. It's going to work to the benefit of Georgetown. Take a break. It's been some performance by the Marquette Golden Eagles this afternoon here in D.C.
Caitlin Clark, big time maneuver. She needs no introduction.
The Golden Eagles from Marquette out of the great state of Wisconsin. A big lead here and en route to their sixth consecutive victory. They lead Georgetown 86-47, and this is a really good Saturday for some matchups. Look at these, Tariq. You got Houston playing at Kansas, Duke at Carolina, and Tennessee at Kentucky.
Yeah, these are big-time matchups, and I think any one of these teams we can certainly be talking about in March, but you know, the one that jumps out to me is Houston, and Jamal Shead, their point guard, is so tough. He brings a leadership toughness to that Kevin Sampson team, and I think they're gonna come away happy on the road, and I think they're gonna knock Kansas off, but that's a big-time matchup. And then Duke Carolina, obviously, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
You know, R.J. Davis has been phenomenal, maybe the best guard in the country, senior at Carolina.
Fielder knocks down the first couple.
Fielder's an Idaho native from Boise, Idaho. Raised his recruiting stock after transferring to California, which is where he went to high school, Southern California Academy. Originally committed to Providence and then came over to Georgetown when Ed Cooley made the move.
Howard being ridden. Fielder with his second foul.
He just had a mismatch there. He knew Fielder was not able to stay in front of him. And nice hesitation dribble.
Strong finish through contact too. Going to a big guy like that, that's pretty impressive. 3-point play.
Marquette showing some 3-2 zone here, and one thing the Warriors have really struggled with is shooting the ball from three today.
Coming up on 2.5 to go here in regulation. Lumbaugh has it. Ooh. Chase Ross thought he had a steal. So here's Marquette with 89 points on the board with 2.5 to go. Their highest point output today, or this season, 95-65 win back on November 10 against Rider. University out of New Jersey. But in this run that the Golden Eagles have been on, I showed you earlier, beat Villanova at home, at St. John's, at DePaul, Seton Hall, at home, and winning at Villanova on Thursday night.
Well, there's a saying in college basketball that you want to be playing your best game, best going into February, and that's certainly the case for this Marquette team.
Ben Jones with the run. Ben Gold with the run.
He's another really talented younger player, sophomore. He's gotten much better, can shoot the three, puts it on the floor.
Young man from Wellington, New Zealand. Final 2 minutes. Big rejection and a foul inside. Let's see if they get it to him. Sends Masood to the line.
This is a Marquette team that really can go 10 deep comfortably. And that's been one of the, I guess, benefits of when you have guys that are injured or nicked up like Cam Jones was, Stevie Mitchell missed a few games. You know, even Sean Jones, who's out with the ACL, it gives other guys an opportunity. You get a chance to see what your depth is like. And now everyone's pretty much healthy with the exception of Sean Jones. And you know you have a little bit more depth than you originally thought.
Let's get these guys on the board here. We got Jonah Lucas, number 41. Jack Riley's in the game, number 42. 55, Cameron Brown, along with Al Amadou. Marquette, boy, their first 8-9 guys, man, they can really play. And a half to go, and block. That's going to be a foul against Jonah Lucas, sophomore from West Lafayette, Indiana.
Well, these are good minutes, even though the game is pretty much over for these freshmen. Brumbaugh does a nice job of pushing the ball in transition, and a nice job by his freshman teammate Fielder running the floor. He's had some bright spots today, even though he's still learning.
Seconds to go. Guys off the bomb squad at the back end of the bench. I know you want to run your stuff, but get on the board with some points, boys. There you go. Amadou kept it alive. Hand on the rim. Fielder. True Fielder. Maybe that is a forecast for things down the road here at Georgetown.
I've seen some things from this young man today, showing some promise. Nice job attacking the rim with a fake handoff.
And it's going to be Georgetown ball. That's a confidence-building move.
Absolutely. Little fake handoff here by Drew Fielder, and just not settling for anything but a dunk. Nice job.
Lumbaugh, he gets the layup. Beats Cameron Brown. Final 30 seconds. Marquette's going to take its record to 17-5, 8-3 in the Big East Conference. They've won 6 consecutive games, 7 of the last 9. The other side of this story, Georgetown drops to 8-13, 1-9 in the league, and have lost 6 consecutive ball games. A lot of folks I don't know if they traveled in from Milwaukee or they're East Coast alums, but they are liking what they saw here today. A high output offense performance by the Golden Eagles of Marquette. Somewhere Al McGuire's real happy about this one. 91-57. This was a no doubt about her.
Dominant performance by the Golden Eagles, and only getting better for them as they get ready to go back home in Milwaukee.
We'll come back and put a wrap on it right after this from D.C.
Tyson boneless buffalo bites and hot wings have that tasty kick of flavor, so they're perfect for any get-together. If there are any left when your guests arrive. Tyson Anytizers Chicken. More kicks of flavor, more smiling snackers, more to love. Tyson.
Where'd you learn to serve?
Oh, I didn't serve, but if your spouse, parent, or grandparent served in the military, you can join USAA.
Yeah, my grandpa did, so I'm already in, but I was talking about your serve.
Oh.
USAA, for the military community.
At Dots, an ordinary pretzel just isn't enough, so they add savory seasoning and tempting buttery flavor into every delicious twist. Now that's enough to make you build an all-pretzel pantry with a biometric security system. Dots, sensationally seasoned pretzels.
Everything in moderation. Except for popcorn. Popcorn doesn't count. Skinny Pop. Enjoy endlessly.
With all these Hilton Honors points, I could stay for free.
At the Waldorf Astoria in the Maldives. What about the Canopy in Paris?
Hilton Honors, babe.
When you want points that can take you anywhere, it matters where you stay. Hilton, for the stay.
What's up at DQ? These two are debating which $7 meal deal, with fries, drink, and a sundae, is the best full-size meal deal of all.
Cheeseburger.
Chicken strips. There's something for everyone in the $7 meal deal at DQ. Happy tastes good.
Get a free short stack at IHOP on National Pancake Day, February 13th from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And celebrate IHOP's month of giving by donating to Feeding America. Only at IHOP.
Sixth consecutive win for the Golden Eagles of Marquette, 91-57. This was in little doubt. Dave Sims and Tree Turner with you. And the show we want to talk about is Cam Jones, everybody. He played 21 minutes, and he went crazy. 12 of 15, 7 of 9 from deep, and 23 of his 24 in the second half.
Yeah, I mean, he just made it look so easy. He didn't barely even broke a sweat. It was just all in the flow. He didn't force anything and got to his step back and got hot early from three and just continued on in the second half. The second half, he really took over. And Cam Jones, certainly good to have him back in the lineup if you're Shaka Smart.
You know, his greatest teammates kept looking for him, too. Connecticut a win earlier today at the Garden of New York City, beating St. John's, and Marquette right there. They'll meet again coming up in a matter of weeks. For Tariq Turner, I'm Dave Sims. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Big win for Marquette here in D.C. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.